Welcome to the Research Sluggers Qualitative Analysis Project on Campus Wheels. So let's dive right in.
Cigar, sorry to intrude on your ride, but
not again.
I'm sorry. I'm sitting here. You clicked a little speech. We've heard some rumors that you're worried about the Campus Wheels project, that you're considering shutting it down. I just want to hear talk to you to reassure you that we've done some research, we figured out some ideas, and we think we have some improvements for this idea.
All right, go ahead.
All right, thank you. I really appreciate it. Quick little 2-minute elevator speech here. We've done a lot of talking to students, and we've realized that they like the idea, they like the concept of it, but they brought out some pretty good areas of improvement for the bike that would not only benefit the students, not only benefit the project, but benefit CMU as a whole.
All right, go on.
There would be a little bit of money involved in kind of doing some ideas that they implemented, and some new ways to utilize the system around campus.
We already started. I don't know if we can go back.
I know. If we already started, it'd be quick. They're not huge fixes. It's fixes that the students brought out themselves. So not only would they utilize this concept more, but they'd be more happy. They'd tell more people. And we would start something new on CMU's campus that's never been done before. And we could start something that we'd actually be really proud of, because I see a lot of potential with this project. But I see if we don't listen to the students and do some of the things that they want, I'm worried that they're not going to utilize it the way we want them to.
All right, go on.
We have a presentation prepared with some of the data that we've collected from the students and some of the things that they want and our ideas for implementing those ideas.
This is under 20 minutes?
We can get it to you under 20 minutes.
All right.
Yes. We'll give you a quick little speech, just kind of let you know what this project is about, why we think it'll succeed, and the new ideas that we found.
All right, let's go, Albert.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gardner. Really appreciate it.
Alright, well, we just wanted to make sure that during this analysis project that we figured out what the students actually wanted. What students were, where their classes were, their transportation thoughts on what CMU was currently doing, and maybe ideas of their own before we even brought up the Campus Wheels project itself. For this research, we had many ideas of interviewing freshmen and sophomores, and doing this in a qualitative analysis way allowed us to get to the depth and discovery of what they wanted in a CMU transportation idea. And a lot of these ideas were brought up even before a video was shown to students. So we had a few objectives that were our main points that we wanted to understand throughout this presentation. Our first objective was understanding life as a CMU student. Freshman, sophomore, south end of campus primarily, but just what's it like living on campus in general? Where do you go? What kind of stuff do you like to do? Our second objective was understanding a current perception of current transportation on campus. What does CMU offer that you like? What does CMU offer that you don't like? What could CMU offer you? What wouldn't work for you? What would work for you? Our third objective is understanding students' perceptions of the proposed model of Campus Wheels. What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? Do you have improvements for the bike? What wouldn't work for you? Where would you want to go? What would you use this for? For this research, we interviewed many students who were either a freshman or a sophomore, as well as living on the south end of campus. We made sure to video or audio tape each person at a quiet location to get every detail possible, and make sure that 2 interviewers were always present to have the best questions asked. Doing this specific type of qualitative analysis allowed us to get real depth and discovery about what the students thought on the subject. The in-depth interviews helped us get what we needed without being generalized or being biased in what we were asking. Also, we were able to get information that would normally not come up in other research methods. It was very time-consuming to do the interviews, review them, and find out what the information actually was, and the connections that the students were trying to make for us. Some problems that we ran into was that doing the in-depth interviews, it was hard to get people to actually show up. Through an initial selection, we managed to get a list of 13 people who were willing to be interviewed. After one round, our number fell to 9, and after a second round, the number fell to 3, meaning that we had to go back to the original drawing board and get an additional 13 people and continue that process until our total number equaled what we needed to complete this project in a timely and effective manner. As well as that some instances between the person being interviewed and the person asking the questions, the information that was being said was hard to understand and can get muddled.
On the St. Louis team, we have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
That's what I want to find out. I want you to tell me the names of the fellas on the St. Louis team.
I'm telling you, who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
Do you know the fellas' names?
Yes.
Well, then who's playing first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name on first base.
Who?
The fellow playing first. Who is on first? Well, what are you asking me for? I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Who is on first? I'm asking you who's on first. That's the man's name. That's whose name? Yeah. Well, go ahead and tell me. Who? The guy on first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who is on first?
Have you got a first baseman on first? Certainly. Then who's playing first? Absolutely.
Well, that was pretty confusing, which is a problem that we ran into during. It's a problem with qualitative in-depth interviews. The main thing is that you know what you're going to want to say because the research project, because you know what you want, and the person you're interviewing is going to know what they want to say, but without properly listening to each other, it's just going to get muddled in translation, and you're not going to know what's going on, as is an example in that video. Our main concepts that we wanted to check was the price, transportation problems, preferred locations for students, other ideas for transportation they had around campus, where would they actually want to use these bikes for? What are the perceived risks that they see? Is it dangerous? What are they going to do when it's at night? Type of bikes. A lot of students that we interviewed, we realized that, yeah, they could use a regular bike to go around campus, but they said it might be nice for them to go other places, like explore the town and actually see what Mount Pleasant has to offer. And time duration. A lot of them liked 24-hour rentals. It would work for them, and it's a good time frame. But if you thought it might be nice to have an option to rent out the bike longer, if so needed. Price. If you offer anything free, people are going to use it. A pretty simple concept that means a lot.
Would it change your perception at all if we told you it'd be free?
If it'll be free, there's got to be a catch. That's how I know. I was like, there has to be a catch, though.
Well, good for them that there is no catch with this price. Fortunately, a couple of students that we interviewed said that they actually would be willing to pay $3 to $5 for this. However, when it was mentioned that it would be free, a lot more were willing to participate. Well, transportation is a pretty broad topic, but in the most case, from doing this analysis, we realized that students wanted a way to get to their classes faster. They had classes spread out throughout campus and wanted a way to do it quicker and more efficient.
I would have a class in Spawn, and I would have a class in the music building, and everything's sporadic. Last year I had classes all over the place, so it's hard to walk every.
Because it makes me not want to haul my bike up here. Because I was like, after last year, I was like, screw it, I'm not doing that. And then and the campus is actually getting bigger and bigger every year. Because I'm not gonna lie, because now we have the med school, like, there's a lot more people, and introducing this would just make it more efficient actually walking, especially for business students.
Efficient. I like that word. What does efficient really mean? Well, we want to make sure that if students are going to utilize this idea, that they can utilize it in the correct way to get to their classes on time and not get crowded up in the clutter. Preferred location. Where would a good idea to put this idea? Most concepts right now, we're discussed placing it in the towers, but we wanted to find out, is there anywhere else students would like to go to maybe get this idea taken off? Most people did agree that the towers were a good idea, but a few of the students, through interviewing, said that the SAC, or the UC, or central locations around campus would also benefit them.
Specifically the CAS circle having a Campbell desk. No one sits at them until like 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So like you could use those as like the reception desk in the towers specifically, or even trying to team up with like desk workers, I think would be good, just because specifically my duties at those desks are like nothing.
And that's a concept we have to remember when we choose the location. Wherever we put the location, the staff of that building is going to have to be trained on how to use these bikes. Not only how to rent them out, but how the locks work, how the bikes themselves work, what fees to present if necessary. Alternative transportation. What other methods can students use to get around campus? We asked this question and received some pretty interesting results. A lot of people liked the bike idea. Before Campus Wheels was discussed, bikes were brought up a number of times by students as a relative way to do transportation, because a lot of them thought currently CMU did not offer them much in terms of getting around.
I don't know, if we had bikes or something like that, that would be a lot faster. If we could rent out bikes or something like that, that'd be a lot better.
yeah, I mean, other than that, the safe rides. And the safe rides, I mean, I never use them because they take forever to get there, and
Oh yeah.
it's just annoying, so I just end up walking.
So, a general consensus was that most students felt that CMU currently did not offer them any mode of transportation to get around campus in a safe and effective manner.